One of the most anticipated Metroidvanias of the year is here, and I'm here to give you my thoughts on it. Let's talk about it. What's going on, my fellow Belmonts? It's the Mad Belmont here, and today I'm going to be reviewing GRIME II, which I received a review code for via Keymailer. This is a indie Metroidvania that just released this year, okay, and it's called GRIME II. This is the sequel to the original GRIME from 2021. I have not played the original GRIME, and I had not gotten into this series until this game. So this is coming from the perspective of someone who is brand new to this series, okay? Now, GRIME II was released on March 31st of this year. It came out on PlayStation 5, which is where I played the game, and it also came out on Xbox Series X and S, as well as PC via Steam. This game was priced at $27.99, and it is developed by the folks at Cloverbyte Studio, and it is published by the folks at Quali Limited. Now, with all that being said and out of the way, let's get into the different aspects of the game, starting with the story. The story for GRIME II sees you playing as a formless, someone in the world of GRIME who is an art mimic and can absorb creatures, as well as summon molds in their shape. We start off the game being born and are tasked with evolving as well as traversing the mysterious land that we are born into. That's the basic rundown of the story, but don't let my basic summary there fool you. This game has a very deep and rich story to it. This is mostly told through the environment itself, so fans of the Soulsborne method of storytelling, you're going to find yourself right at home here in GRIME II from a storytelling perspective. Throughout my playthrough of this game, I found myself stopping in my tracks more often than I thought I would, to be honest, to admire the environments and see what little bits of lore I could extract from each area of the map. It's so nice to have a game have that type of effect on me, and the world and the lore of this game were good enough to have that effect on me. So, if you're looking for a game that has very enthralling, gripping storytelling that is told through the environment itself, you're gonna have a ball with this game. The visuals for GRIME II are both absolutely stunning and very grimy at the same time. Let me explain. This game is presented in a 2.5D perspective, but is not realistic in art style like you would typically see from a game that's done in this perspective. Instead, this game goes for like a surrealist, grimy painting vibe to it, and it nails this to the T. Each area I came across in this game felt like I was walking through an abstract yet grimy looking painting that was hanging in an art gallery. And I really love it when a dev goes nuts with the art style like Cloverbyte did with this game, and it's one of the main reasons I want to go and play the original game now, because if the environments look as good as they do in this game, I can only imagine how they looked in that game, okay? And it felt so cool to just walk through these different environments and like see the griminess of it in the platforms that I'm on, but also see the beauty in things. Like, some of the background art for this game is stunning. Like, you will sit there, see something moving in the background, you just stop and admire it. Right? Now, the resolution for this game is up to native 4K, but since I'm on a 1080p TV, I didn't get the full clarity of that resolution, but that didn't put a hamper on how good the game looked, because even at 1080p, this game shocked me with just how good it looked. Now I gotta talk about the best aspect of this entire game, which is the gameplay. In this game, you have different weapons that you can use, things such as a one-handed weapon, or a big two-handed club, for example, so on and so forth. You can hold two weapons at any given time, and you can swap between them when needed by pressing the left bumper button. For me, it was L1 on the PlayStation 5. This is extremely helpful because certain situations call for a different play style, a different method of attack, and being able to switch weapons at will and switch play styles on the fly, it's a great thing to have. You also have a parry in this game, which you get by timing it right before an enemy's attack lands, Once you do this, you get a brief moment, a brief window, if you will, where the enemy is stunned, and you can land a couple of attacks before the enemy has a chance to respond back to you. You also have another opportunity to stun an enemy when you deal enough damage to them and get them into a state where you can absorb their form. You do that by hitting the dodge button, which is the circle button on the PlayStation 5 controller. And it made my character dash to the enemy, and I absorbed their form. You will 100% want to do this in this game, because when you absorb a given form enough times, it'll upgrade. And you can do it a certain amount of times, right? And then once you get fully done with it, you'll fully upgrade it, okay? Now, there are new forms introduced in each area of the game that you go to, so you have more incentive to get into fights in this game as compared to some Metroidvanias out there that don't have any leveling systems or anything like that, because of the fact that you can absorb forms and upgrade them. And I like that. Speaking of fights in this game has a great variety of enemies that you will have to fight, and they will also have you on your toes constantly as you go from area to area. The boss fights in this game too are super fun to fight, with each one feeling more grand than the last one that you fought. The platforming here in this game feels weighty, but not too weighty that it feels unresponsive. As I mentioned before, you have a button that not only acts as the dodge button, but it also acts as a dash, and it comes in handy whenever you're on a platform, you have spikes above your head, and you need to move between platforms. That dash button also acts as kind of a double jump of sorts, as you can hit the button in midair, then your character will do this animation that gives you a little more distance. Also, one of my favorite things to do in this game while platforming is slide jumping. And if you time it right, which I didn't on several occasions playing this game, and even I probably have some failures of that in the gameplay that you see in the background, then you can get a lot more distance than you can with that double jump move. You do the slide jump by first getting the ability, which you have to do, and then once you have the ability, you hit the dash button while you're running on the ground, and then you immediately hit the jump button, and then you'll do a slide jump. You also have a leveling system here in this game, where you can build out what weapons you're going to be more proficient with, as well as upgrade your health and your stamina. Typical things like that that you would see in, per se, a game like Hollow Knight, or a game like Dark Souls, or Blasphemous, you know, stuff like that. That type of leveling system, okay? And so, with this, you build up points to spend in these different stats by killing enemies out in the world, as well as through certain pickups you can find along the way while you explore. This leveling system is what lends this game to have a great amount of replay value, because you're going to want to experiment with the different weapon types and level them accordingly on different playthroughs. You also could challenge yourself and say, I'm not going to upgrade my health whatsoever in this game. Or you could do another challenge run where you're like, I'm going to beat this game on low stamina. You know, stuff like that. It really lends to you having customizability. Now getting into the performance of this game, it ran silky smooth at 60 FPS on my PS5, and apparently that 60 FPS is the same frame rate that you can get on Xbox. On PC, you can run this game at 60, but apparently it does support varied frame rates, including 120, 144, and 240 frames a second. Now, I can, again, say with confidence that on the PS5, I have had absolutely no lag or anything like that during my time with the game. Everything ran fine, everything looked fine, I had no stuttering or anything like that. So, if you have a PS5, like I do, and you want to play this game, you're going to have a smooth experience the whole way through it. I personally cannot speak to how smooth or stable the game is on Xbox or PC because I don't have an Xbox Series X or S, nor do I have a PC that is anywhere near capable of running this game. Okay, now let's get into the value proposition for this game. As I said before, GRIME II is priced at $27.99 on all of the platforms that it's on. That's not a bad price whatsoever for the amount of content that you get here in this game. The main story itself will take you 12 hours, and a completionist playthrough will take you about 28 to 28 and a half hours. And with that amount of content, combined with the replayability that I mentioned that this game has, you are getting every bit of your money's worth with this game. It is well worth the price of admission. Getting into my final thoughts as well as my verdict on this game now, and I gotta say, I thoroughly enjoyed this game. It's a stunning, challenging game that doesn't have challenge just for the sake of it, and it's super fun to play as well. It's also got a good amount of content, as I mentioned, and it has very, very high replayability due to the leveling system letting you do multiple builds, and it's priced great too. So I have no complaints with this game, and if you're a Metroidvania fanatic who's looking for a game worth sinking your teeth into, well, you got it right here with GRIME II. With that being said, my verdict for this game is a 9.5 out of 10. This was one of the most anticipated Metroidvanias of this year, and after playing it for myself, I 100% see why that is. GRIME II is a game every Metroidvania fan should experience. So that is my review for GRIME II. What do you think about the game? Does it look like something that you would be interested in? Or is it not? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you have also played GRIME II for yourself, let me know what you think about the game down in the comments below. Let's get a discussion going around this game, shall we? Also, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like on it. It lets YouTube know that I don't suck. And also, if you're new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss a single upload from me. I do videos on Metroidvanias and Castlevania, so if that sounds cool to you, if you're into that sort of thing, yeah, you might want to hit that button and hit the bell too. I forgot to say that. And also, if you're on mobile, be sure to hype this video. There's a hype feature where if you hype this video, it can get out to more people. So if you have that option on mobile, be sure to do that. And with that being said, have fun on Hunt, my fellow Belmonts. I will see you in the next video, and peace out.